Hi.
Well, your EP counterpart just told us about the kind of Sam and Dean of both of them kind of looking at the different situations.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit. He just hinted on the alternate world and kind of going in there. How
Sure.
much of that's going to kind of take up the season, and what do you guys want to show with it?
You know what? Ultimately, for us, it's a way to. At the core question we're asking when we came with the alternate world is like, what's a world look like where Sam and Dean were never born? And as we've seen, it does not look super great.
Right.
So, now Mary's there, Lucifer's there.
Yeah.
Obviously Sam and Dean are desperate to get that door open again, and well, I'm sure. So then it's about, okay, once you introduce them to that world, how does that world change? Counterpoint: when you introduce elements of that world to our world, how does our world change? So again, you have it is in some ways. I don't mean this in a Independence Day way, but it's in some ways building to what I would think of as an alien invasion story.
Okay.
These are people from another planet, essentially, but the question is, are the invaders coming to us, or are we the invaders going to them, and what does that mean? So it's something we want to explore, pretty heavily in the back half of the season. But it's also something where you want to be very judicious about it, because you don't want to get lost in this mythology, and again, every episode is like, and here's character X, and here's character Y, and now they're back, and but now they've got an eye patch, and they're totally different. So you don't want to go down that path too much. But I think that it's something we want to really explore, in this season, and then everything going well, perhaps even beyond.
Great.
Did you sort of overtly think of the whole sort of alternate universe thing as this would be a handy way to bring some characters back and yet look at them differently? I mean, some actors back, I guess,
Sure.
for different characters.
No, and as we started to talk about the idea, that became a real draw for it. Again, that's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because if that's the game, I'm a big believer. We're in season 13. Our show has a great degree of history. Our show brings with it a great degree of nostalgia. I never want this to be a show that relies only on nostalgia. So if we're bringing a character back in the alternate world, that character needs to be a new character or a new version of that character that adds something to our plot, that drives it forward. It can't just be someone we love to come by and say hi and then walk off screen. That's not what we want. They need to have an impact, and those characters need to change. And that's the rule going forward for even characters we bring back in the core universe in our regular show. If we're bringing someone back, they need to come back for a reason. They need to change. We don't want somebody there just to take a phone call, have people on Twitter go, "Oh my God, it's whoever," and then they're never seen again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are back in the alternate universe the cosmic consequences Billy was talking about?
I think the cosmic consequences Billy was talking about are starting to unfold. Yes.
With the new spin-off you guys are having, and I've noticed this past season you've introduced some characters like your twins that I was super excited about. Will they be on the spin-off, or are you going to bring them back this year, sort of stay fade show?
The twins will not be on the spin-off because we left them in a very complicated place. And it felt like they deserve their own story. And so our hope is to bring them back in the core show. However, we are in episode 3 introducing a new character to the spin-off that we hope will be very cool and bring kind of a new voice to the show.
The Scooby episode sounds so amazing. Can you give us any hints about it or anything?
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about it, when we got the call about it, it was like, have you guys ever thought about doing this? And we're like, we haven't. How stupid are we? Like, this is obvious. Is that you've got both Sam and Dean, Sam and Dean are basically like my age, and Scooby was on all the time. Like, Mom told me a story. When I told her we were doing it, she's like, "Oh, that's really funny because when you would take a nap and you would miss Scooby-Doo because it was before TiVo and everything." She's like, "You just cry all the time." I'm like, "Wow, hey, let's." I think I was more mad. I think I was not that weak, but as it turns out, I was. But if you're Sam and Dean, you look at people. These are guys that drive around solving mysteries. There are actually a lot of parallels. So you've got this. It's nostalgia for both of them, and I think it's a way that's really, really cool. And it makes it a personal story, not just and now we're animated and let's have some gags. It becomes a very personal story for both of them in a lot of different ways. Sparks fly. So there you go.
Everyone wants to know, will Michael get a chance to come out and play this season?
I think a character named Michael will. I'm not sure it's the Michael we know and love.
And we won't be seeing any more from Atlanta Letters in England. I know we could only better hear in the US.
I think we will be seeing a limited fallout of that. I think we really like the characters. We like the door that opened. We felt it wasn't something we felt we could get 2 full seasons out of. But I think you're going to see some fallout of that, both in terms of how our guys have evolved their own methods, and then just because the British metal letters are gone, that doesn't mean they're forgotten.
this, oh, just the Scooby episode is obviously a big undertaking with a lot of pre-planning. Anything else that you guys are doing that's kind of off-book or just, kind of your one-offs like you guys do?
Sure. I mean, I think the Scooby episode is the. I mean, we wrote the script for that a year in advance.
Yeah,
so that took a lot of time. I think we've got an episode coming up. What'll be episode 11. That will be. It's in the same wheelhouse of the episode we did on the sub when Dean got zapped back in time. Was on sub. It's that, but I think a little bit more ambitious, and so that's production-wise. That's going to be a real challenge for us. And then obviously the spinoff itself,
right.
Making it feel like an episode of Supernatural, but also feel like it's a distinct own thing. I think between those production challenges, that's what we're focused on right
Gotcha.
now.
Thank you.
Another episode where you incorporate the fan fiction. Remember that you had the play that one year, the book. Or was there anything you might do something else again this year?
We're certainly always open to that. Again, we did that. The last time we really did, we did the convention episode, and then we did the musical episode essentially, and they were about 5 years apart. I think we don't want to pack them in two because it was like season 5, I believe, and then musical episode was season 10. Yeah, so 5 years apart. So I don't think we want to pack them in too tightly like that, but we're always open to it. It's about how do you explore it in a way that is both current and also acknowledges the fans, but is also respectful to the fans.